Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Gina,
and we're here to talk about our next installment of the Hennessy Diet Project.
the Carnivore diet.
Yes, so this was the second diet of the project that we've started. It's a ketogenic type diet, so many people have heard of that diet we found, but the carnivore diet, not so much.
Yeah, it's still kind of new.
So it's basically the keto diet, but it's more restricted in that you only eat meat and
Yes.
animal products,
Yes,
dairy.
so minimal carbs, but any animal product, including dairy. And we ate all sorts of meat and meat products. And there's actually a lot of recipes out there on Pinterest that I found because we got more creative than I thought that we would be.
So when we started this diet, I found that oddly enough, I'm the meat lover, and she's always been the meat avoider.
Yes.
And when we started the diet, the day that I came home, I was working in the Boston area, and Gina had come home a few days before that. And when I came home from work, I had a fridge full of meats, bacon, and all the things that I love, and I had no appetite for meat. It was odd. It was a very unusual experience for me. It took me several weeks of really just sort of forcing myself to go through and eat meat, but before I really kind of started getting my appetite back for it. And that was unusual. And then the other unusual thing was your experience with it, how from day one you embraced it. And
yes, I just decided I've never eaten meat before, but I'm going to like it. I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to eat it. And if that's all you get, then I decided right from the beginning it would be fine, and it really was. And then I realized I liked meat. I like bacon for the first time, steaks, hamburger. These are things I didn't eat. I only ate a little bit of meat in something like ground meat or chicken breast or fish. And we had some chicken and fish, but we ate a lot of red meat, more meat than I've ever eaten in my life. And my kids couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe I was ordering meat, sausages, bacon, everywhere we went. So it was surprising, but now I like meat. I'm not afraid of it. I like it, and we actually felt better.
yeah, so that was the real surprising thing, wasn't it? And we had heard, of course, some people had said that this diet was easier on your digestive system, but we had also heard lots of other people talk about how our bodies weren't designed really to digest meat and these kinds of things. But our experience was that our stomachs especially felt much better eating just meat. We didn't have that bloated, gassy, too full feeling if we had eaten a big meal.
Definitely. I used to get stomach cramps a lot, not really knowing what it was, but
yeah, you always thought probably it was dairy or something, but we had dairy on this diet, and
right. So I think it would be grains and fruits and vegetables, which is what some people say.
yeah.
So I experienced less pain, less arthritis pain.
And that's one of the claims, right?
Yes,
So
a lot of the claims are you'll have zero pain, and I didn't have zero pain, but I had less pain, definitely. So less stomach pain, less joint pain. I think I had a little more energy, but I've been anemic, so I wasn't sure if the energy was from the diet or, maybe raising my iron a little bit. But other than that, we didn't experience the keto flu. Most people say, the first week or two you're going to have headaches and fogginess and just dizziness and all kinds of symptoms, but we actually couldn't tell whether we were in ketosis or not. We didn't feel any different.
We measured it with urine sticks here and there, but we would still allow ourselves 2 cheat days a month. So 2 cheat days a month, we would eat lots of carbs and feel bad.
Yes, definitely. Right from the beginning, headaches and stomach cramps.
And it would take 5 to 7 days to get back into ketosis, but even during those times, we never had any symptoms suggestive of this keto flu that everyone talks about.
We never did. And so on those cheat days, we got to eat whatever we wanted. It's good for birthdays and holidays, but other than the cheat days, and maybe it's because we had cheat days, but I didn't crave carbs and sugar on this diet like every other diet I've been on. Usually I just crave sugar the whole time. But this one was nice. I didn't even really miss the sweets. And we fulfilled that craving every 2 weeks, and then we would get back into ketosis. You said 5 to 7 days. One thing we did notice, we were looking at how to get back into ketosis faster, and if you fast and if you exercise, we found out you could get in ketosis a little bit faster.
Yeah, so we had initiated sort of a fasting day after we had our cheat day, just as a way of trying to get back into ketosis. And that's because really the key to this diet in terms of managing weight is being in ketosis.
Yes. And we were able to lose some weight. We did restrict our calories. I stayed at about 1,200 and he stayed at 1,700. But what we found is when you don't have all of the sides to eat and you can eat nothing but the meat, you really didn't want as much.
Yeah.
So often we didn't have a problem staying at our calorie level or under it.
I found that I would eat till I was full, and if we were eating some really good barbecue, something, maybe a little bit more, but certainly not enough to make myself uncomfortable, and then I would be done. And I could eat pretty much all the meat that I want throughout the day, here and there, and it would rarely add up to even the 1,700 calories that I was, that I had allocated myself as maintenance. So.
That's true. So that was nice. We ate a lot of different kinds of meat. We loved ribs.
Yeah,
we could go
sure
to town
did.
on a slab of ribs and steaks.
And
burger patties with cheese on them.
Yeah, and Gina made some many really interesting dishes, all made out of meat, of course. And one that was a bread that was sort of made out of meat that looked like bread, but it was more like a meatloaf.
Like meat and pork rinds and eggs and cheese.
But some of the dishes we ended up really liking. There was a pizza that was the crust is made out of chicken, sort of ground chicken.
I think we'll demonstrate that.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
One of our favorites because it actually tasted like pizza minus the crust.
Yes,
and food that we're familiar with.
Right, and you were able to really, I think, perfect how we really like our steaks cooked. So we had lots of steaks here at the house.
I never was confident in cooking steaks, and that's just something you ordered, or the kids ordered when they went out to eat. I didn't make them very much, but I got some practice at it, so that was fun, cooking steaks.
And so we've had blood work drawn, which we're largely still waiting on the results. And one of the things we would anticipate from that is that probably our lipids have gone up given all the meat and fat that we've eaten. We'll have to see how that goes and kind of navigate that. But the doctors that are
proponents for the carnivore diet, they say not to worry about your cholesterol being high. You want to look more at triglycerides and other labs.
Yeah, so we'll share more about that down the road. And so we take a hiatus from the diets for a couple of months as sort of a washout, and then our next diet is the vegan diet. And so we'll that's probably the next time we'll see you, certainly about the time we start the diet.
So total opposite, no meats and cheese, so all grains and fruits and vegetables. So it will be interesting to see how we feel. We're still documenting lots of different parameters, and we'll be sure to share it with you.
Yeah, so stay tuned.